Rav Avigdor Miller went off to learn in Europe in the Slobodka Yeshiva. And while he was there, he went on a walk with his Rebbe, Rabbi Avram Grudzinski. And during that walk, he asked him, what can I do to make a major impact on the world? And Rav Avram Grudzinski responded, you need to become the best Avigdor Miller that you can become. Maximize your kochos, maximize your greatness in learning, your midos tovos, and ultimately that will spill over to all of Klal Yisrael. And his life was exactly that. Rav Miller was a Rav in America during a time period when people thought that Judaism was dying. Torah learning was nowhere near what it is today. Yet despite the enormous challenges, Rav Miller had a vision of an America that would stand for the highest of Torah values, and his vision became a reality. He raised the generation in their Limud HaTorah. While he himself had learned through Shas so many times, he understood the level that everybody was on, and he brought them up from that level. He had a shir where he would learn one pasuk of Chumash every single night, and then after that, they slowly upgraded. There was a doctor who he sat down and taught him the Aleph Beis from the beginning, and after 3 years, they eventually finished the entire Masechta Bava Metzia. And Rav Miller understood that the Torah could have an effect not only on the people in his neighborhood, but on the entire world as well. He developed the Torah telephone program, the first of its kind, in which people could be chavrusas no matter where they are all across the world. He set up hundreds of chavrusaships, people who were beginners with people who were more advanced, to be able to grow in their Torah knowledge. One time Rav Miller received a call for the Torah telephone program from a fellow who lived in a remote place in New Hampshire. And when they were discussing the hours of the program, it seemed that this fellow really didn't have a time slot that fit within the hours. And Rav Miller said to him, it's not a problem at all. I have a chavrusa for you. I will be your chavrusa. Rav Miller's popular Thursday night shiurim attracted people from all walks of life. He started with the basics of Judaism and helped people work their way up to understand what Yiddishkeit is really about. Yet nobody was able to predict how popular his shiur would become through the tapes that were sent out all across the world. There was a well-known Kiruv rabbi in South Africa who was responsible for bringing back hundreds of Jews to their heritage. And when he was asked why was he so successful, he said that it was all due to Rav Avigdor Miller's tapes. He would listen to those shiurim, write them down in the notebooks, and that is what he used for his classes to be makar of so many people. Above all, Rav Miller's Simchas HaChaim was something that was contagious. Towards the end of his life, a doctor came into the room and asked him how he was feeling. And he said, I'm so busy being happy over all the kindness that Hashem has done for me that I don't have time to think about how I'm feeling. His simcha came from a really deep recognition and appreciation of all the chesed that Hashem does for us in this world. He said all you have to do is look around the ordinary world, take a look at a fruit peel or a pit, and you will see the tremendous chachma, the unbelievable kindness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing for us here in this world. Rav Miller's grandson once saw him pick up an apple, and he held the apple in his hand, and he said, thank you Hashem for making this such a deep and beautiful red. And he paused to take in the color of the apple. And then after that, he said, wow, thank you Hashem for this beautiful aroma in the apple, making it so appetizing. And he paused to take in the aroma. And he said, thank you Hashem for all the preparation that you put in from the orchard to get it to the store to ultimately get it to me. And thank you for all that you've given me, for my eyes, for my nose, for my tongue, for my teeth, to be able to appreciate this incredible apple. And it was only after that he started to make a bracha slowly and with tremendous concentration. And then he took a bite from the apple. And because he appreciated Hashem so clearly, there was only one concern that he had in the world, and that was standing up for Kavod Shamayim. Rav Miller would come out with strong public statements stating clearly, together with scientists and doctors, that every organ in the human body is proof that there is a divine creator. And this took place during a time period when that was not the popular belief. And unfortunately, on the 27th of Nisan 5761, Rav Avigdor Miller was taken from us. Thousands of people attended his levaya, people from all walks of life, people whose lives were changed from Rabbi Miller even though they never met him personally. Rav Matisyahu Salomon called Rav Avigdor Miller the Avram Avinu of our generation. They both lived during a time period when the vast majority of the world was in a state of spiritual darkness. Yet they both stood up and proved to the world that there is a HaKadosh Baruch Hu who is directly involved in all of our lives. Even though Rav Miller passed away so many years ago, his legacy lives on now stronger than ever. With over 1,900 lectures and 14 Sfarim available, let's take upon ourselves to further our growth today through the powerful life and inspiration of Rav Avigdor Miller. To get a hold of Rav Miller's Sfarim and his numerous audio recordings, visit simchasachayim.com, and as well, you can get them on Torah Anytime, Kol HaLashon, and Nucky Radio.